Greetings. My name is Dan Fernandez, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Sustainable City Year program, which is a program I began at CSU Monterey Bay that's modeled after the National Educational Partnerships in Communities network that was begun at the University of Oregon and is spreading throughout the country, which I'll talk about later. Before I begin, I would like to show you a short video that describes the program in general.
Cities are always looking for ways to improve, whether that's by increasing quality of life or reaching economic, social, or environmental goals. Yet, at a local level, change is often hard. City staff often lack the capacity, time, knowledge, or political space to make the changes that society increasingly demands. So how can the city get knowledge into practice, facilitate positive discussions about change, and look at old problems in new ways? It turns out that what cities lack, universities have in abundance. Students have a tremendous amount of creativity and desire to make change. They are learning best practices and the latest theories, and are hungry to find ways to translate that knowledge into practice. They can facilitate conversations in the community that are less threatening and more productive, and they have a lot of time to give. Many university departments already do work related to cities in subjects like city planning, architecture, geography, law, business, journalism, landscape architecture, economics, engineering, and public administration, just to name a few. The trick is to match a city and its needs with a university and its resources, while working within the administrative structure of both, adding value to all and engaging in a scale that actually improves the outcomes for cities and universities. How does a city access students and faculty? How do instructors know what projects the community actually wants help with? And who has the time to coordinate any of it and ensure that the work is real work? That's where we come in. Think of our model as a framework that solves the university-community partnership puzzle. It fits the complicated structure of city governments and universities neatly together. There are two keys to the match. First, a coordinator within the university and a coordinator at the city work closely together on every aspect of the partnership. Their job is to make it easy for individuals, professors, and individual city staff members to plug into the partnership. Second, those individual instructors and staff co-develop a scope of work that ensures the work produced advances the city's plan for the year while also meeting the educational needs and abilities of students. This two-tiered relationship structure is a key innovation of our model. It provides quality control, ensures the projects are real, and allows busy faculty and city staff to engage easily in a partnership that provides tremendous value to their existing work responsibilities. Our model empowers cities and universities to create lasting change, trains the next generation workforce in innovative ways, and advances real efforts to improve quality of life in communities throughout the country and potentially around the world.
And I will be referring to topics described in that video from my own perspective within the campus in terms of the projects that we've begun with our program here. Now, to underscore one of the key features of why this program is important is that students are often trained to become professionals, but in the field that they become professionals in, they lack experience. One of the really nice features of this program is that it gives our students experience in the areas in which they'll later find employment opportunities. Additionally, cities oftentimes want to pursue sustainability-related projects, but they find that they don't have the person power, financial capital, or expertise to pursue those projects. So this program really helps address both issues, both needs. It also provides another avenue for cities and, for that matter, larger other governmental agencies. It doesn't have to be a city that is part of this program, to put more emphasis and expertise and resources into the preservation of natural resources. Now, the model that we're talking about is quite simple. It involves connecting existing faculty with who teach existing courses with projects that the city generates. So what's really neat about this is that it doesn't really take a whole lot of new resources to do the work that's being proposed in this model. And these projects address social, economic, and environmental needs. So as a result of this, the University of Oregon about 8 or 9 years ago developed this program, seeing this need between campuses and local government agencies, such as cities, for some sort of a network of programs across the country where higher education can match up with needs of the cities to provide solutions to these problems that have been discussed. And as you can see, this model is actually proliferating across the country. And if I can find, here we go. On this map here, you can see many of the schools across the country that have initiated a similar program as has been developed at the University of Oregon and at California State University, Monterey Bay, both of which are shown here. Now, this model is actually very sustainable and more than helping environmental sustainability. From a financial perspective, there is some funding that the city provides, and that funding helps to support campus staff that help to run the program. It also helps to support faculty who need materials in some cases. They may need transportation. And sometimes students receive some support to help faculty to run their program and to write final reports for the city. And sometimes there's funding required for transportation in order to get students and faculty and staff from one site to another, from the campus to a site, or from the site where work is taking place to the campus. The city receives deliverables, which can be presentations that students and faculty put together, and all of the projects that are involved in all of the classes prepare reports that they deliver to the city. And what's really, I think, neat about this project is from a class, let's say, of 30 students, you might have 5 or 6 groups working. Each group is producing a report and that describes the work that they've done on their project. Now, not all of these reports are necessarily going to be top of the top. As we know, those of us who've taught, some students that do outstanding on projects, others maybe are less outstanding. But what's really neat about this project is all students get the experience, but the city can choose which of the projects that it wants to implement, if any of them. But it often has many more options than it would have had otherwise, particularly when you have multiple groups working on a given project. You get a lot of different ideas. Some of those ideas might match the city's needs better than others. Additionally, as I've been mentioning, these projects really get city staff excited. They get to work with university students, which isn't something that has typically happened in the past. And faculty as well get the influx of ideas and expertise from the city that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So it's a really great way to share best practices all around. And of course, the students benefit in multiple ways. Through interactions with the city staff, they often end up with jobs or internships. They also just get the experience of working on real practical projects that are of benefit to their communities. And of course, university administrators get to extol the virtues of everything that their programs have been creating. And that's always a plus. And what I find really neat is at all the campuses where this project has been going on, they've just gotten so much support from the presidents, the provosts, the deans, because it's just been such a positive impact on the campus as a whole. And as I mentioned, there's a positive impact for city partners, faculty, students, and for all. And a big part of it is also publicity. The newspapers really like talking about this kind of partnerships. So it really brings a lot of positive publicity to the city and to the campus. At CSU Monterey Bay, about 2 years ago, I initiated the Sustainable City Year program with a guest lecturer on a sustainability event that I run every year. And I had Dr. Fritjof Capra, who's the author of the Tao of Physics, come speak at our university. And a lot of the work that he's been doing most recently involves partnerships between campuses and their local communities. So he was really all in favor of this program beginning here, and it was really great to have his support at that event. Similarly, I had a student who was completing his capstone. His name is Tyler Belko, and he and I really partnered to initiate this program, which we really got off of its feet the following semester. So we really acted quickly to make this happen. And Tyler is pictured there on the left, presenting his capstone project to a group of eager audience participants. Now, our first partner city is the city of Salinas, which has about 150,000 residents. They're very excited to work with us, and they had several projects that they wanted to have help with, all of which we saw could have some sort of a sustainability flavor or theme to them. One was the creation of a communications plan that would help with the city's communications outward, as well as the ability for the community, members of the community, to communicate their concerns about the city, particularly with regard to sustainability-related issues, back to the city. So, and how could we enhance that? What a great project for students to work on. Another project that the city of Salinas was interested in was how to basically improve ways of getting around the city through alternative means of transportation other than a car. This could be bicycling, walking, or taking public transportation. A third project involved the development of public art and actually creating better ways of getting around the city that allow people to, or I should say better ways to show people how to get around the city, whether it's through the use of signs or public art that makes the city more aesthetically appealing, as well as provides information to help both the residents and people who are new to the city get around it. The city is also interested in help with development of a high-speed internet, which would allow residents and visitors to better access information about the city, including public transportation. And many cities these days have a GIS department, that's Geographical Information Systems, and the data from Geographical Information Systems are incredibly useful for city planners and those just interested in needing to maintain the city. And so there's just a wealth of data that many cities and other governmental agencies have that needs to be checked, it needs to be corrected, and needs a lot of work to make it optimal for cities' usage and for enhancing city operations. So our program has had a lot of successes, and of course there's challenges with any new program. Some of the successes are that it was really widely communicated across the campus and across various cities, and it garnered interest, and that was really positive all around. We also did get some significant press on our program. The enthusiastic city representatives were part of that. It was great having the director of public works for the city so enthusiastic about making this happen, for instance. And he brought along a lot of the other city employees and got them excited about it. The timeline is challenging. Trying to do a project in a semester is always challenging. And also trying to get this project started in such a relatively short time, it also had its challenges. But we made it work, and I think many campuses could do the same. I'm hoping to see more campuses get involved with this type of effort. Didn't have a lot of faculty who participated at first, maybe just 3 or 4 for the first few semesters, but that's actually changed, and I think we've hit a tipping point. And funding is always an issue. Our program does not require a lot of funding. Our first year, we operated on $50,000 from the city. Second year, we had about $30,000 from the city and about $15,000 from the campus. So with a modest amount of funding, we're actually able to contribute significantly to the city. So it's a real win-win. For a little history, in our first semester, we had 3 different classes across campus participate in this program, and you can see some pictures from those classes back then. Our second semester, we also had 3 classes participate, and this is one of my former students, Bernard Green, who is setting up a car counter on the campus using some equipment that the city allowed him to borrow that he set up also in the city to help them count the number of vehicles passing a given area to better assess whether certain intersections were designed well. In this past fall, 2016, we had again 3 classes participated, 2 of which were my classes. So, but it was a really successful semester, and one of the classes is actually designed specifically for the Sustainable City Year program. It's for a capstone class for our students, where they will do projects with the partner city each year. And as I mentioned, we hit a tipping point this past spring, which is really exciting. I was on sabbatical, which made it even more exciting. I wasn't one of the classes that was involved. So all of these classes that were involved, many of them were new and hadn't been participating before. And it was just great to see the wealth of projects and ideas that came out of all of these projects. And the city was really pleased with a lot of what they saw. There are also several successes that I could document here. Several psychology students presented their results at a research council this past fall, and the results that they got from the Sustainable City Year program. A number of students from several of our classes across campus interviewed for internships or jobs directly related to their class projects. At least 4 of them received offers. There may be even more, but it's just been really a positive experience for them that's led on to more positive experiences. And finally, the other student success that I was aware of, there may be others as I mentioned, is in the College of Business. Several of our students won Best Pitch at an Ag Tech Summit for farm worker housing for an idea they proposed during their project in an entrepreneurship class in the College of Business. So just such opportunities all around. And the city has also gotten valuable data, reports, and documentation. As I mentioned, in some cases they got staff from this program. And sadly, we're moving on from the city of Salinas because we've been their partner for 2 years, and our next city partner will be the city of Seaside, which we're thrilled about because the campus is in the city of Seaside. So we'll be working directly with the city that we're located in this coming year. And in closing, here's a picture of myself and several of the founders of the EPIC network, including Laura Block from the Environmental Protection Agency, who's the woman with the black hair in the middle, and Jessica Blaylock, who's on the left, who started a similar program at San Diego State, which was the first program in the state to use this model, where CSUMB is the second program, campus program in the state to utilize this model. Thank you very much for your attention.